right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Warriors get it done tonight. Minus Steph Curry. They come back, and they put away the Milwaukee Bucks. In a competitive game, 104-93. We'll get right to it after we thank our sponsor, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Give Chapman Law Group a call for all your legal needs. You got to... The music gets pop going right here, no? It's going when I start talking about getting a whiplash. What the heck? It's not fun to get your neck smashed, but if you do or get in an accident, call Chapman Law Group, 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, guys, what a ball game tonight. Oops, what did I hit the wrong thing? I thought I hit the music. There we go. All right. Let me get the logo back up there again. There we go, the banner. Well, guys, let's first of all, let's say once again, NorCal Sports Network was right on. Lou and I last night, Lou said, relax, it's one game. People flipping out all over the country. ESPN, worst loss of the season. Hearing it from everybody, worst loss of the season. Yes, it was a bad loss last night, but you made up for it tonight because you weren't winning both games, okay? You're not winning both games against playoff teams, okay, back to back. Probably the best chance they had if they were going to win both games was to sit Steph last night and then have him come back tonight. But look, Warriors came out. You could see it. They came out with a lot more intensity tonight in the first quarter, jumped to a big 12-3 lead because they were playing tenacious defense. And it was the same thing that they didn't do. Well, that's an oxymoron, the same thing they didn't do. It's what they didn't do last night. They came out relaxed because Jokic wasn't playing and Murray and Brown weren't playing, and they thought they had it in the bag, thought they could coast. You can't coast in the NBA. Anybody can beat you on any given night. So give me your guys' thoughts on this game tonight. Lou, let's start with you. You were right last night. You nailed it. You said, relax. It's one stinking game. But the masses wanted to cry like the Warriors were falling apart.
You're muted.
You're muted, Lou.
They got a nice little jolt with Pods coming back. I thought really the key tonight was they actually played defense. You know, they really shut down the two big leaders of Milwaukee. I don't think we give him enough credit, but GP2 again, phenomenal. You know, I thought what was great about him is not only was he playing great on offense, but his defense, it was so valuable. You don't realize how incredible it was. He shut down, Butler shut down. And then I think Butler, you know, tonight, he knew he had to do a lot, and he did what we expect Butler to do. The only negative of the game is I thought Kuminga, this was his first game back without Steph. He almost tried to do too much, and he was out of his realm. He probably had one of the worst games he's had. You know, he had 4 fouls. He was he reminded me of Green sometimes when he's having a bad day, but good teams bounce back. I think it's a big win. I think it's something that we can build on. And most importantly is we did it without Steph. And, you know, I think anytime Steph doesn't play and you win, it's like a win and a half.
Yeah, it's one of my. They're 7-3, by the way, this year without Steph. In the 10 games Steph's missed, one of the bad things for the Warriors happening right now is down in LA. The Clippers are leading with 3 minutes, 13 seconds to go, 123-115 over Cleveland. You would hope Cleveland would get that win because the Warriors-Clippers cannot tie because the Clippers have the tiebreaker. So Warriors are only one game ahead of the Clippers in the loss column. That's why this would be great. But down 8, 3 minutes to go, it can happen. I mean, Cleveland could come back, but we'll see. We'll keep you abreast of that. Lowe's, what was your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, before there was YouTube, before there was social media, us OGs understand and remember Sports Phone 68, when you actually had to call into a radio show and give your opinions. And yes, there were casual fans back then as well. Not as many as now, but there's a long season in basketball and baseball. You're going to have bad days at the office, and you're going to just not play well. That's just how it is for those two sports because there's a lot of games. So fans going crazy. Yes, they did not play well yesterday. You know, give credit. Sometimes we just need to give credit to the other team playing well. Denver played well yesterday, and the Warriors played bad. And when you combine that in sports, you're going to lose. As far as today's game goes, this was a gutty win. And anytime you can win without Curry, who's a cheat code, and not have to just rely on kicking it to him and making things happen with 6 or 7 seconds on the game clock, a la Kevin Durant when he was here, is a good thing. It teaches them how to move the ball and teaches them how to be able to rely on other people to make plays. So, you know, agree with Lou that the defense carried them through when the shots weren't falling, and sometimes you need to win that way. In the playoffs, you're not going to score 120 and 130 every game, so you need to play defense and play good team ball.
Yeah, great points. Great points. I mean, if we let me pull up tonight's box score and we'll take a look at it together here. It's interesting to me because Butler he took this looked like playoff Jimmy tonight, didn't it? I mean, the way he just took over the game at certain points where he was just driving downhill, getting going up for the bucket or pulling up. I mean, he just and just so savvy getting those fouls on those 3-point shots. The one at the end of the third quarter was awesome, where he actually stepped on the line, so his toe was on the line. Otherwise, it would have been a 4-point play. But that was huge. Warriors would have been down. Warriors would have been down going into the fourth quarter after leading at halftime. Weren't they up at halftime by like 12 or something?
Yeah, and they were down what, 4 with like 50 seconds left. I mean, and there was 0.2 seconds left when he did that, the old pump fake.
Yeah.
Basic basketball.
That was a great move. So, but look at the box score for the Warriors, guys. Pods puts up 17, 4 of 7 from 3. If that heat check would have went in toward the end of the game, that would have been definitely Steph. What do we hit the wrong button there? Come on. There we go. Get this back here. All right. So Quentin Post had some big threes that he knocked down. Butler just played a great game. Draymond, he was plus 14 along with Jimmy. Draymond was in some foul trouble. Didn't score hardly at all tonight, but he had 10 rebounds and no offensive rebounds. But Jimmy, 10 assists.
I want to kind of focus on Draymond Green here for a second, guys. Having Draymond Green on your team is like dating the most beautiful, sexy woman possible, but she has the absolute worst temper as well. Like he gives you – I was looking at him standing next to Giannis. Giannis is so much bigger than him with longer arms. And for him to disrupt Giannis and make him struggle into the game that he had just shows you when Draymond is motivated and challenged to really lock somebody down, a better, bigger, younger player, even at his age, he is one hell of a defender. And I think we take him for granted a lot because he does so much of the dirty work. I mean, he scored 3 points. He had 10 boards. Didn't have his normal assist total, but that's a lot to do with Curry not being there. But 4 blocks, 2 steals, and a lot of things that he does just don't show up. I mean, if you just watch him guarding, the best player on the other team a lot, whether it's a quick point guard or whether it's a big center, he is one hell of a defender. And again, because the negative side, the bad temper side of the female that I was attributing to is every time he fouls, he has to scream at the refs. He never just walks away like, dude, you foul once in a while. Just accept it. You don't have to say something to the refs every single time. And I think that's honestly why he gets teed up a lot, is because he's barking the whole game at the refs and they just get tired of him. It's not necessarily that he cursed at them or, call their mamas a name. I think they just get tired of 30, 40 minutes of him barking that they finally just get fed up and say, here's a T. But I wanted to talk about that because the ups and downs and highs and lows of Draymond Green are something else to behold on a nightly basis.
Great point.
Yeah, I agree. He's just got to, he talks so glowingly about Steph, right?
Yeah.
And you don't see Steph doing that stuff. But I just don't think Draymond is if Draymond he needs to play with anger to play good.
Yes.
So he can't seem to get angry and he can't get fired up if he just plays the game and says, oh, bad call, I'll turn around and, instead of internalizing it, like I get this way. I can be a little demonstrative, but if that's not working, I'm going to hold it in and I'm going to say, I'm going to kick your, I'm talking to myself when I'm playing because I'm PO'd. I'm pissed off bad when I'm not getting the calls. But you got to find that. That's what Steph does. Steph doesn't, he just says, okay, this is the way it's going to be. Not going to be a fair fight. We'll do it my way. I'm going to bury you. And
Draymond has to be motivated. And if there isn't anything that's obvious, he'll make something up to motivate him. If he's playing the Charlotte Hornets in March in kind of not a meaningless game, but not exactly a marquee game, like he has a hard time getting going. But
yeah, you said March. I would make it more like November.
Yeah,
probably like,
true. A little bit towards you're right. Towards the earlier part of the year. But tonight, I'm coming off of a bad loss last night, when he's got Antetokounmpo and he knows he's going to have to be the main guy on him. He got himself all jacked up and, he's not a young guy either. And he played last night and he played 36 minutes tonight. So hell of an effort by Draymond's part to, like I said, disrupt him and make it hard for him to score. I think the negative for tonight, even with the win, is I'm not seeing Kuminga really play with a lot of high IQ right now. I see him kind of forcing. He's forcing the ball.
Los.
What I say, Kuminga, right?
You said Kuminga, yeah. I said Lou. I meant Los. You got it.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought I said the wrong name. Yeah, JK is probably getting the feel back of the game. I've been big on hoping that Jimmy Butler would be a mentor for him behind the scenes, in practice, in shoot-arounds, during the game, to be able to get his, basketball IQ up so he can play. You notice he's been taken out the last 5 minutes of the game. It's because he's not making the right basketball plays. And hopefully that'll come around because we're going to need his athleticism.
Yeah, he'll come around. Tonight, I think everybody presses a little bit when Steph – if you notice, the offense is stagnant. There wasn't as much cutting to the hoop tonight, guys doing backdoor. They really were forcing them especially when Butler was not on the floor. It was just like, what are we going to do, guys? We're running the ball. All the passes are outside the 3-point line, handoffs, and nobody could get anywhere. So Kuminga tried to barrel his way down with his, tornado moves and really. Yeah. And he got a little out of control because he was trying to do too much. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Here's another thing, guys. I think Steph should stay out Thursday night too. You're playing Toronto. Give the guy the rest he needs. Give him. You only have 13 games left, right? What are they, 40-29 right now? Yeah, 13 games left. So give them – they play – after tonight, they go Saturday. Do they play Saturday in Atlanta? Is that the next game after Thursday night? Let me look. Yeah, Saturday night, they're at the Hawks. Give Steph the whole week off. Let him play it against the Hawks. Let him get rejuvenated. Look, LeBron, there's some people – in fact, I don't know if you guys saw this. Kevin Garnett said, we all know what LeBron's up to. He said he's on a juice trip.
Yeah, he's getting his roids
he's
for the
faking
playoffs.
the injury. Kevin Garnett, I didn't say this. Kevin Garnett, who's in tight, he said, we know that was a fake injury. He's getting juiced up for the playoff run. And it wouldn't shock me.
Do the basketball players get tested for that or not?
I don't know, but I think LeBron's probably got enough money to get undetected. He's probably they probably have ways to go through it and get undetected. Because you watch, he'll come back and Philip saw it. He'll come back and he'll be stronger than ever. Guys, hey, Lakers, he'll just make sure that the Lakers stay in the top 4.
Isn't that something? The difference between baseball and basketball, where a generational talent like Barry Bonds could be just magnified glass about every little thing, and everything that he's did. They forgot how good he was before he got big, and they just tarnished him with the whole roids thing. And just everybody looks the other way with LeBron. Like, it's pretty common sense. Like, if you use your eyes, that good chance that he's probably on something, but it's just swept under the rug.
Tell you what,
between the two sports,
if it was 2023, 2024, and Bonds, McGuire, Sosa, that stuff would have been swept under the rug because of the money.
Yep.
The social media, the constant stuff. Look, Barry would have overlooked it because he would have said the guy's too big for the game. We can't. It's like Ohtani. Come on. I was born a while ago. I wasn't born yesterday, right? I mean,
you were born at night, just not last night.
Yeah, exactly.
You mean really Saturday, not last Saturday.
You really think that Ohtani didn't know anything about his $5 million missing from his bank account? They swept that under the rug so quickly, man. They said, we got to kill this. And you know what? The guy, whatever his name was, that took the fall, he's going to be taken care of. He'll do a little time. He'll get out, and you watch. He's getting.
I told you guys.
Dan, what's funny about? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Lou.
No. What I was going to say is, his agent who lost all the money, and the guy he dealt with was a huge bookmaker and the former president of Resort World. If you look up Resort World, there was like 7 guys in sort of a syndicate that were all bad, right? And all 7 of them either got fired, are now in jail, and Ohtani wasn't even slapped on the wrist. So, I think it was. Plus, he was the face, and then it's amazing when he had such a great year, nobody referred to how it was in the offseason. Not one person brought it up. So that's it. Hey, I do want to bring one thing about Kuminga, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt since, he's only come back. I think this is his 4th game, but it was his first back-to-back game. He played 28 minutes last night. He might have just run out of gas.
That's fair.
When you know how it is when you go and you're out for 2 months. The first game back, you're always fine, because you're sort of adrenaline and everything. But when you go back to back tonight, he just looked out of sync. He looked like he tried to do too much. But I'm going to give it to him. Just saying that maybe he was dead tired. He did play 28 minutes last night. Today he only played 22. He's still young, and you never know. Some of these guys say, "Oh, I'll go back to back. I'm still young," but it's not you; it's the body. So I'm going to give him just one little benefit about that because I forgot that he played 28 minutes last night. I mean, not everybody's in shape like LeBron or GP2. So yeah,
deloading nails it. Yeah, there's no way. This is kind of what I was trying to say. You said it better No shot NBA announces if he tested positive. They're not letting their league and Golden Boy go down. Yeah, look, they propped him up. The dude's is he already 40 or is he going to be 40? How old's LeBron?
No,
He's already 40.
Yeah. He's 41.
No,
Is he 41? No, I think he's 40 right now.
he is.
He's
I'm
going
gonna
to be 40.
I'm going to look up his age. I type in LeBum and does it come up? LeBum. Let's see. He is. Let me just look at his date of birth here. Yeah, he's 40 and 78 days. So born December 30th, 84. So he's going to play next year at 41. And the guy's not slowing down at all. He's defying all of what science, every human that's ever played.
I know he spends $1 million on his body, but
was he born in Panama? So really, maybe he's 45. I'm kidding. That's one of Dan's baseball things.
That's the Dominican.
I mean
Dominican. Sorry, Dominican.
Yeah, deloading's.
Yeah, I don't think NBA really has anything. I mean, if NBA did marijuana and they tested for them, they'd have no league. I mean, there's there's more guys that do. That's one of the reasons why they don't test for that, because everybody does.
And maybe baseball being that way is what put them in third position behind football and basketball. They went after their best players and didn't give a crap because they were so wanting to find guilt and get them in court and shame them. And yeah, that hurt their business. That's why they're number 3, and that's why they're winning bronze medals compared to football and basketball now. That's the truth.
Look at Kyle. He's 40. We're 4 months apart. I'm about to turn 40. He's doing something. I'm beat down as shit.
Well,
Kyle works hard too.
Yeah. You guys remember when I streamed from Japan and you were asking about what was I seeing over there? When I first got there, I was in a neighborhood that was, predominantly like a younger generation. And there was a few Ohtani jerseys. I saw quite a few. Then as I started to get to the suburbs and then to other areas, I saw less and less. I saw more Imanaga, Sasaki jerseys. And then when my friend would talk to a lot of the locals there, there's a lot of shame. There was, they're very, very respectful of doing the right thing. And I think they know over there that Ohtani got away with some things. So there wasn't the love fest that I thought there was going to be for him when I was over there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting to hear their perspective.
Interesting. Well, what happened to my banner? Where did it go? What happened to my... Jeez, I hit something and it's all gone. Hold on here. LeBum. All right, guys. So type in. Oh, come on. Even when I hit the wrong button.
Nah, I didn't see any error. Saw some Imanagas and some Suzukis, but not as many Ohtanis as I thought.
There we go. LeBum, not a top 5 player. We got to keep putting that up. I rooted for LeBum only one time in my life, and that was this past summer in the Olympics. I guess I should say I rooted for him in past Olympics as well, but I have a hard time with a guy that calls himself the GOAT when Michael Jordan said, I'm not going to disrespect. There's a lot of great players that have played the game. I'm not going to call myself the top. LeBron wins the NBA championship in 2016, and all of a sudden he says, that's it. I'm the greatest. And this guy has taken Ryan, you're just coming on. You haven't seen this LeBum? We've been putting it up there for weeks. Okay, Ryan, let me ask you this. Even you, the non-athletic producer, could go out there and not shoot 10 air balls on free throws. 10 air balls that I have seen. I bet you there's more. I saw a compilation of it on Twitter. When I saw that, and then I've seen all of the fake stuff where he falls over when he didn't even get hit and constant flopping. I'm sorry. That's just not right. I don't see how a guy could be top 5 and he can't make not make free throws, but shoot air balls. How do you shoot an air ball? Look, it happens once. Okay. How can you shoot 10 air balls from the free throw line?
Oh God, here we go.
All you got to do is throw a little chip, a morsel at the dude, and he loses it. Man, I live rent free in your head, dude.
You know, one of the better explanations I've heard about the whole GOAT debate out of Jordan and LeBron. And by the way, I think you should have Kareem in that debate. I don't know if they're kind of shifting to Kareem. I don't know if anybody's had a better basketball career from high school to college to NBA than Kareem. Kareem won championships in high school. He won championships in college, and he won multiple championships as a pro. So he should be in the discussion. But most people just focus on LeBron versus Jordan. I think one of the better explanations I saw was player-wise, just player, it's Jordan hands down.
Oh,
it's Jordan hands down as a player. Where LeBron might get a GOAT status is longevity. Like you give that to him. Like he's played a long career and for the most part stayed relatively healthy. Whether it's enhanced probably remains to be questioned. But you give it to him on longevity. But for those of us that saw Jordan in his prime, he was just a better player. He's a lockdown defender. He's the highest scoring player in the league and could shut you down at the same time and not help defense. One-on-one defense, get right in front of you and shut you down.
I would take, obviously, MJ's top. Okay. 2, you can debate, but I would take I'd take Kobe as a player and a man over LeBron. I'd take Magic. I'd take Kareem. There's 3 more Lakers. I'd take I don't know. I got LeBron probably right around 6, 5, 6, maybe.
Duncan,
Bird.
Yeah. And by the way, Dan,
Wilt.
3 and 7 in the NBA Finals. Let's remember that 3 and 7, and it's not like he didn't have any.
Should have been 1 and 9. He shouldn't have won. Ray Allen saved his butt, and Draymond saved his butt.
Yeah. Let's
think about that. He'd be like 1 and 9.
Yep.
He yeah. That 3-pointer in the corner to tie it by Ray Allen.
And saved him.
And then the
Kyrie.
Game 6.
The Warriors had that thing in the bag. And so at minimum, he should be 2 and 8.
LeBron loses credibility with me as well when he flops as much as he does. Like just Kobe didn't flop.
He's worse than a soccer
player. Jordan didn't flop.
They would never.
You don't need to do that. You
Nope.
don't need to do that. Like you're a great player. You don't need to. If somebody that weighs 165 pounds, soaking wet, brushes up against you, and you act like you just got shot, and go down. You don't need to do that. That's what discredits you. It doesn't drop you to 8 or 9, but you don't need to do that. So those theatrics, I think, knock him down a peg or 2.
Yeah, I say not top 5. He might be 5 in my book. Some people have him too. I get it. It's a subjective argument.
Oh, that's a good way to get debates going. Is the best of greatest.
Oh yeah,
greatest quarterback, greatest running back, greatest
yeah. I mean,
basketball.
Mark makes a good point. I mean, Seattle had Patriots beat. Just give the ball to Marshawn.
Cal Berkeley star, Marshawn.
Yeah, give it to, what was his nickname again? The Beast.
Skittles.
Yeah. Beast mode. Just give it to beast mode. You can't tell me he wouldn't get it in at least three cracks.
One of the absolute worst.
That was second down, by the way. Second
time.
down. It could have been.
Yeah. It was. I thought it was first down. Was it second, or maybe it was second? They got to the one on first. I don't know, but that was nuts. And then Atlanta, of course, a lot of people want to pin that on Kyle, and there's some merit to that.
Of course,
that Atlanta loss. So, yeah, Brady would have. What is Brady's record in Super Bowls? Is he 7-3?
7-3.
Is he the opposite of LeBron?
He's the opposite. Yep.
See, I don't think. I look at Brady. He played a different position, not as physically demanding as what LeBron has to do, run up and down the court, and
he had less talent around.
Yeah, I don't think Brady played until what did he play till 44, 45 years old? You look at his body, it didn't have, it was more, it wasn't, puffed up shoulders. I mean, he was taking care of his body with his diet. And I think LeBron, to an extent, obviously does that too, and he works out, but I just think, to me, he's always looked like different than everybody else.
I think one of the interesting things we do on YouTube channels and sports debates, local, national, radio shows, whatever the case may be, is we have so many debates about greatest players on team sports, where you have to rely on other people to be successful. And rarely is there any talk about GOATs on individual sports, like boxing, or like an individual tennis player.
Oh, yeah.
Or even if you want to be real nerd, like a bowler. I mean, that's really reaching. But in a team sport where you are reliant upon so many variables, we always have these debates and discussions.
Yeah, that's a great thought. Yeah, tennis, boxing,
golf. When you're going on the back nine, and I'm not even a golfer, but I mean, I know the game. When you're going into Sunday, Money Sunday, and Tiger Woods wears his red because he's out for blood, and you have all the stress in the world and everybody watching every putt and every shot that you make, as it gets to the 16th hole and the 17th hole, going down the stretch. There's nobody that you can say, well, it was his fault because he didn't block. It was the coach's fault because he called the wrong play. Oh, no, the running back dropped this pass out of the backfield. Or this guy dropped a dime and missed a layup. No, it's all on you. Boxing, same thing. And you know what? We never have these discussions about individuals and GOATs. It's always team sports. I find that very interesting. Very interesting.
Kyle, every time I mention LeBum, he says he wants to catch a plane to Paris and get a French collar.
I have a buddy that can't stand Tom Brady because he's the biggest Joe Montana fan ever and thinks Joe's still the GOAT, which I think is arguably, worth debate. He calls Brady the LOAT, the luckiest of all time. And there's some truth to that, but
I'll tell you what, if Tom had to play in Joe's era, where the quarterback was not protected like he is today, I mean, gosh, I keep thinking pretty soon they're just gonna put the quarterback in a like a little glass bubble, and maybe they should get one of those. You ever seen those guys where they get them all blown up and they bounce all around? Those big things. Put the quarterback in that. Hey, could you see a world? Could you see a world, if we're even around in it in 25 years or whatever, where there is no football it goes to flag football. Game's the same. They just go to flag. Could you ever see that?
Boy, I could, and I could see boxing being banned because too many people think it's too violent. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
I mean, they brought flag football now to the Pro Bowl.
I could see professional sports in general. Like if it keeps going the way it is and player salaries just never slow down. At what point will the average fan go, okay, this is getting out of hand? When is somebody going to sign a 10-year billion-dollar contract? And the thing that's always kind of bothered me is when I hear the fans say, it's not my money. Really? Have you seen ticket prices at games?
I know.
Have you seen parking at games? I used to go to Oracle to see the Warriors play, and I could sit in a lower bowl seat. I'd be under $100.
Yeah.
Not anymore, man. $100 won't get you the worst seat in the house. So yeah, it is our money. And at one point does it end? I love sports just like everybody else, but if it keeps getting into our pockets, Lou knows better than anybody. Like, and it's not like you can make the good money and not pay and afford it, but still at some point you're going to be like, okay, I got to understand where my money goes for entertainment. And when the product is not good and you're still paying out of your ass, like nobody's paying $40 for a Big Mac. If you do, good luck, man.
Yeah. Hey, I just saw something on Twitter here. Longest home run ever. 10 longest home runs in history. I don't know how they measured some of these.
Ooh, off the top of my head, what would be some of the longest ones that come to mind? The Reggie Jackson in the All-Star game has got to be.
In the All-Star game. That was at Detroit.
71. That was out of Tiger Stadium. That might have been a 500 and plus foot shot. Canseco in the Sky Dome in Toronto was in the third deck.
Upper level.
Yeah. Those two come to mind.
Third level, upper level. Bonds, when he
in the World Series.
Bonds hit one.
Yeah,
no,
not in here.
Yankee
Not in the
Stadium
top 10.
on the upper level. I went back. What about Dave Parker when he at Candlestick?
Nope,
section
not in
63.
the top 10.
All right, so now we're talking more old school.
Yeah,
We're talking,
I bet you Mickey Mantle's got a few of those.
Yeah, Mickey or Stan Musial.
Mickey got number 3. You want to guess how many feet?
Old Yankee Stadium
which Barry Bonds homer was further? The one in Yankee Stadium in the upper deck, or the one in the World Series off the scoreboard?
Gosh, I think the
batting practice one. Remember the batting practice he did down at Angel Stadium?
Let's just stay with a regular game. Like, I don't know. I think the one against the Angels might have been.
Check this out. Look at that. Josh Gibson, 580 feet. Babe Ruth.
Yeah, old Yankee Stadium.
Oh, I had Reggie. Ooh,
you got Reggie, 539.
I remember the Glenn Allen Hill home.
Oh, I remember
the
that.
Glenn Allen Hill, the Reggie, and Giancarlo. I missed the Josh Gibson one. I was there the day before.
God, I remember Galarraga almost hit the mitt.
Good call.
Oracle. It landed right below it.
Good call, Lou. He did palm that one. I was at Candlestick when Willie Stargell hit one in the upper deck, and not to right field, to right center. Center. And that's the longest homer I've seen in person.
You guys want to get into a little controversy here? We're talking Warriors.
Allen one, I remember, was huge.
We'll wrap up this with the Warriors. I think Thursday night they play the Toronto Raptors. I think you come out, play with intensity again, and let's make sure. I think Steph should rest one more game, and the Warriors knowing that going in, knowing they have to play hard without him, can't take a night off, but give Steph some rest. The guy's been going and going and going. He's had a little bit of a kink in the back. Let's give him Tuesday tonight off, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and let's get him back ready to go, refreshed for
It's a good call. It's a good call.
the stretch. It's a home game. Buddy can shoot the lights out at home. Buddy plays well at Oracle. He doesn't, not all the time, but if he's going to play well, it's usually at Oracle. But we'll see. But I want to bring something up to you guys. Los, I know you are huge on this, and this is 3 initials we're going with. And I did not have a chance. I've been busy today. You've been busy. Supposedly the files were released today. JFK, I know you're a big historian. Anything on that you saw that you can report on that you heard?
I was so busy and
Okay.
out most of the day. I'm
Did
going
you
to
see any
study
of it, Lou?
The only controversy I saw is, did he get shot in front or behind? And what the general public saw from all the videos and everything, it's different on the files. And nobody said that until they officially saw the files.
I heard somebody say it was the driver once. I turned around and
I've heard that a couple of times. But wouldn't Jackie have reacted a little bit differently if the driver right in front of her?
That's why I thought when he got shot in front, why didn't the blood go on her or anything? That's why, I guess, again, I didn't see, I know they were talking about it, that maybe he got shot from behind. It's, I'm just amazed it took this long for us to finally see all this stuff.
I have my theories. I believe it.
Yeah.
CIA and LBJ had something to do with it. He had the most to gain. The Joint Chiefs of Staffs wanted to go to Vietnam. They wanted war. They wanted war with Russia and the Cuban Missile Crisis, and he averted that and saved millions of lives. I thought that's what a president was supposed to do. It was like secure lives. And, he didn't want to go to Vietnam. The Joint Chiefs of Staffs did. So does LBJ. And he got snuffed out. One of the saddest days in American history. Would have been interesting to see what the country would be like if you had 8 straight years of JFK and 8 straight years of RFK. Who knows? We'll never know. We'll never know.
Wow. Well, I just wanted to bring that up just real quick. I don't want to, do a whole show on it, but I just thought I haven't had a chance to even look up stuff. I got home this afternoon a little late, actually closer to 6, and then sat down, did a little bit of read the mail, and then all of a sudden, baseball game was on, the Giants. And so I started watching the Giants game.
Well, they had 2 today.
But one was on, one wasn't. They won the game that was televised against San Diego 4-3. They lost to Colorado 3-1. Robbie Ray pitched 5 innings, only gave up 1 unearned run. He looked pretty good. And Matt Chapman made 2 errors.
Again.
That's
5 on the week.
The campaign for Casey at third continues. Dan Cochimilio, president of operations.
Little late. Oh, what did I just see there? I got to see this back. Was that
5 errors in 1 week? I thought he's the greatest defender of all time.
We're gonna do a Giants preview for the season
next week, next Wednesday night. Gonna have our full baseball predictions.
Damn it!
But I actually could pull this up. Let me.
If we can't do Wednesday, Carla, Los, do you want to do Tuesday? We like you to be part of it.
I'll be Tuesday. Yeah, I'm flying out Wednesday morning to the Bay.
Oh, that's right. All right, so here is my. Take a look at this. Take a look at this, guys, from tonight's game. All right. See my comment here? Second error tonight on Matt Chapman. He earlier threw the ball in the dirt, allowing an unearned run to score. Errors happen. It's part of the game. It's human error, right? Nobody's perfect.
Yep.
But please, do we have to listen to excuses from Hunter Pence and the other Giants broadcasters again this year? He said, these tricky infields in spring. And they're making excuses. And I said, Can we just call it both ways? Call a spade, please? If Chapman makes a great play on these tricky infields, it's like, oh, what a play, right? This guy's a unbelievable best third baseman. So here we go. Let me cue it up. Let me first of all mute it, and then I'll blow.
I'm not a big fan of Hunter.
Yeah,
and I know all these guys on the chat think I'm horrible, but our announcers are just. I mean, Fitzgerald, I can't stand with the Warriors. I listen to the radio instead, so I'm a little ahead of TV. And the Giants, it's really bad.
Here we go, guys. Yeah, I mean, can we stop that, please? Can we stop? It's got to stop.
That's 5 errors this in a week's time.
Yeah, the errors I can whatever. It just don't make excuses for them. I just look.
Yeah.
In the dirt. Yeah, I mean, come on. This is just they just protect him so much. It's just Matthew, you got a big
guarantee. Yeah, I think I might have to get that for my I'm going to get a jersey and have Chapman on it and see. And when I sit, I wonder if the announcers will say anything.
Announcers won't say. They might carry you out. You should go change your official name to Chapman, and then get the papers.
And then on the side, RISP, 206, and then RBIs in the season 74. So when I show the guns.
Oh man. Tonight he's been hitting the cover off the ball, and I haven't seen a ton of it. Not all but he came up with runner on third. Less than 2 out. And what did he do? Popped up to the shortstop with the infield plan in, a short little pop-up. Why did he do that? Because he didn't change his swing. He's still trying to kill it.
Lou, if you get a Chapman jersey, I'll get a Jung Hoo Ouch jersey, and we'll wear it in together. Jung Hoo Ouch.
Yeah, there you go. Dan, have you heard anything about his back? They said he was going in for MRI, and then they've been pretty quiet.
Everything came out good. There's no structural damage. They think Melvin said he thinks he can play Friday, and if he gets in a few games, he'll be ready to go for the season opener next Thursday. So next Thursday, what time is that game? I know you guys have a deal, Los, at
1
noon?
o'clock. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock our time, 1 o'clock California time, 4 o'clock Cincinnati time.
Okay, so they're playing at 4 in Cincy. Okay. The Giants, I found out, they'll face, I believe, Hunter Green, who's a pretty nasty pitcher, opening day with Webb. And then Webb has to face probably Framber Valdez, the final game of the Houston series, because he's on the home opener. I'll tell you a pitching matchup. I was listening to the radio today that sounds really cool to watch. Might be the most exciting pitching matchup of opening day because, everybody throws the aces. How about Paul Skeens against Sandy Alcantara? That should be fun to watch because Alcantara, see what he's got. See if he's back. I hope he is.
Skeens is working on a cutter to go along with what he already has. Jesus. But I don't know. These hard-throwing pitchers are more susceptible to injury, for sure.
Yeah.
Not just from a fantasy point of view, intent, Dan, from a just general baseball point of view. So that's what you get when you just have throwers and not pitchers. Greg Maddux, Kirk Reeder, Tom Glavine, where are you?
Yeah.
Miss them. Who's a soft throwing pitcher in the league, big leagues right now that is a winner? Like is considered a top pitcher, a soft throwing. Like when I say soft, like can't throw past 90.
And you said lefty, like an Ali Hammaker type, right?
Righty or no, like in the game right. Yeah, in the game right now.
I'd say Webb doesn't throw much past 92.
He can get it up to 94. He can get up to 94, 95. But like, does anybody else come to mind? I'm trying to think. Like, Who's a winning pitcher that is kind of soft throwing?
Um,
That just shows you, like, it's just.
I mean, Kershaw doesn't throw that hard. Does Kershaw throw that hard?
But he's not a winner. He's not a
But he's
winner
old
anymore.
now.
the game,
Yeah,
game
he's
has
old.
gotten really. It's unfortunate. The game's all about speed now, and I think.
Oh, I know
think
I know a pitcher, the Yankee pitcher. He's a small guy, right-hander. I can't think of his name. He won like
Stroman?
Yeah. Stroman doesn't throw hard and he gets you out. I think he won like 12 or 13 games last year, if not more. And he
Giants
had
had
a
a chance
reasonable
to get
ERA.
him. Yeah,
Yes, I wanted it. Lou, I wanted him. I thought he'd be great for this ballpark. Again,
But of
get
course,
somebody
the
that's
Giants
good for your
didn't wanna give up.
ballpark.
Yeah.
He wasn't even that expensive. Yeah, Marcus
No, they hadn't.
Stroman.
And then they tried to get him this year.
Did they?
Again, make a trade. And the Giants said no. It might have just been for Harrison and somebody else. And they said no.
No, Chris Sale throws pretty hard, Jeremy.
I'm
Chris
looking
Sale
here,
was really
see if
hard.
I can find a pitcher that is not a hard thrower who's an effective.
Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo had a nice year last year. I don't think he throws very hard.
Yeah. How about Max Fried? Does he throw real hard?
He throws hard.
He can throw 95.
90,
Does he? Okay.
95, 96. Yeah.
How
Again,
about
I think,
Senga? How about Kodai Senga? I don't know. How fast does he throw?
The Mets pitcher,
Yeah.
he throws about 93, 94, but he's got one of the nastiest splitters in baseball.
Right.
So, yeah, he's borderline. But there's not many of them. They're getting more and more extinct.
How about that guy? He's not a dominant pitcher, but the Padres, Matt Waldron, throws a knuckler.
What about Justin Steele of the Cubs? I don't think.
Yeah, there's a
very
guy.
hard.
He doesn't. I don't think he.
He's
throws.
92,
what about
93.
Darvish? Does Darvish? He doesn't pitch that
Darvish
fast,
can
but
get
his
it up
balls
there.
go all over the place.
Darvish can throw 96.
By the way, Darvish today, news came out. They're shutting him down for a while. He's physical exhaustion or something. So,
Wow.
yeah. Senga Max is about 96. Hiroku says.
Yeah.
Charlie Morton, there's a guy. Yeah, well, Morton can get it up there at times. I don't know. Let's see. I have to see.
That's the game. Like I feel bad. I feel bad for young kids now. I feel bad for kids now that are really good pitchers, great control, can spot 4 or 5 pitches where they want, but they don't throw hard. And
never get a
college, and college coaches,
They won't even look at you.
scouts say, no, not interested. But I can get guys out. Nope, not interested.
Yeah, it's, Los, I
sounded
think
like a
that
broken record, but I hate that part of the game.
we could
Like,
have
you can
a-
get people out. You can get people out.
we could have a turnaround eventually. If all these guys, if the Tommy Johns keep happening, look, they didn't happen. I don't remember a Tommy John. Well, there wasn't a Tommy John before Tommy John.
Yeah.
Right? Tommy John is the guy that had it first. And he was one of the only ones for a long time. Look, these guys pitched on 4 days rest. They started, they had 30.
250, 300 innings.
What the heck was that? What the heck was that injury
No, they had
called
40
before?
40 starts a year.
I know.
Now
What
these
was-
guys can
What was
go
that?
30,
What was
but only throw
that
5
injury?
innings.
Yeah, sorry,
Was that what?
I was gonna say, what was that
What
injury
was
called
Tommy John
before
called
Tommy
before
John
Tommy John?
was a what was it
Tennis
called?
elbow.
Yeah.
Tennis elbow, right?
Like if you had that in the '60s, what was it called?
Tennis elbow.
A Hoyt Wilhelm? A
No.
Bob Gibson? Hey, I got Bob Gibson surgery. Or
Did you hear me? Am I
I don't
muted?
know.
Tennis
Tennis.
elbow.
They
Yeah,
didn't
you-
call it that.
we heard
did
you.
they?
Yeah. I used to pitch and had it. My elbow would be so sore after pitching, and I'd be like, dang. And they say, oh, you have tennis elbow. Nobody's
Yeah.
ever heard of tennis elbow?
No.
I've heard of it.
You're
Hey, Dan, speaking of baseball, did you get a
called your
chance to
son.
see any of the highlights of last night in Tokyo?
I did see some highlights. Yeah.
haven't
Believe
seen
it or
any
not,
of
guys,
Yeah.
I was up
And did you see how
and I
expensive the tickets
watched
are?
an inning. I watched an inning about the third inning. I was still up. Had a hard time getting to sleep last night
Okay.
because my wife's on a plane right now. See, it's
Flying back.
let's see, what is it? It's 10:45, so it's 1:45 there Wednesday afternoon, and her flight was at 11:20. So she's a couple of 2.5 hours into her flight.
How hard did Marichal throw back in the day? He wasn't high velocity, was he? He got you out with like 7 different pitches from like 5 different arm angles, didn't he?
Very deceptive.
Great pitcher. Yeah, great word, Lou. He was deceptive.
Yeah.
That was pitching. Like there were guys like, you remember Rick Sutcliffe of the Dodgers? I always watched him and I thought, how does he get people out? Like his fastball was 89, 90. His slider didn't break that much, but he cuffed the ball and he held it behind it. And then, and he hit it. And it was, like Lou said, deceptive. And I just think that's missing in the game where pitchers can come at different angles or just you don't pick up the ball as a hitter when it comes out of their hand. And they're going to get people out regardless of how hard they throw. I know they're out there. It's just missing from the game.
Look at all the pitches he had.
Oh,
they said his fastball averaged.
Wow, I did not know he threw a screwball. I didn't know. Man, right-handed screwball pitchers, you can count them on one hand in the history of baseball. That's usually a left-handed pitcher.
He had
right-handed screwball. Wow, that's nasty.
5 pitches. Look at all the deceptive speeds. 93 to 95, 87. Let's say 93, then 87, 79, 74, 72. That's throwing you off balance. Man.
Dan, when you played, did a fastball get you out? Because I could hit a fastball, and if it was straight, I could hit it no matter. We had some hard throwing, pitchers in the WCL. It was the changeup. It was the goofy stuff that got me out. It was the timing. They're messing up your timing as a hitter.
You want to cue that one up for me again, Los? Ask that again.
Did a fastball get you out?
Los, nothing got me out.
Oh, God. Here we go. We need to go to the batting cages. Let's see if you still got it. We'll start you at softball 30-mile-an-hour toss.
Speaking of softball, have you seen that softball guy? Let's check this out here. Bob Gibson fastball speed. 90, potentially reaching 100. They really didn't. Did they even have the radar guns back then?
They didn't have a radar gun. I wonder what Satchel Paige did.
And the mound was different during his career.
It was higher.
Because they raised it.
They didn't have
Paige. Yeah, Satchel was in his 40s, supposedly throwing close to.
They didn't have a radar gun back then, but you know what they did have? Radar love.
Yeah, tennis elbow.
Golden earring.
Radar love. Don't you remember that song? That word?
Golden earring.
Who was it?
Golden earring sang it. Golden earring.
That's who sang it?
Golden earring sang it.
Golden earring. Okay.
And then White Line did another version, but the original was by Golden
Radar
Earring.
Love. That's a great song. We need Glenn on here. He would know who I've never heard of Golden Earring. I didn't remember the art. I just remember the song. So in the last 10 minutes here, 15 minutes, let's do a little memory lane as we're doing, but can we do a little trivia? Something take us back. Who wants to throw a trivia? Let's each of us throw a trivia question out.
You don't got to ask Kyle. Kyle's going to come up with something here in a minute if it's trivia related. Just off the top of the head?
Oh, you can look it up if you can't remember it.
No, I mean the question.
Yeah, you can look up the question if you can't think of a question.
Any sport, or we're staying with baseball, basketball?
Any sport.
Let me think of one off the top of my head.
All right. Oh, this is too easy. 100 plus sports trivia and answers. Oh, runaway, medium, hard. We need hard difficulty. We don't need. All right, let's just check this.
Or why don't you just do local Bay Area? Local Bay Area trivia.
See, this is easy. I don't even have to give you guys this first question. I don't even have to give you guys the multiple choice because I know my crew is smart. They will get this without needing the multiple choice for teams. What NFL team was the first ever to finish the season with a record of 0-16 in 2008? You guys
Detroit.
need. Who said Detroit?
Lions.
Yeah, you got it. All right, which team made the biggest playoff comeback in NFL history by
Buffalo
beating the Houston Oilers in 1993?
Buffalo.
You guys should get
35-3.
Yeah.
32.
Yeah, they were down 31-3.
35-3.
Yeah.
Then they came.
Who was the first player in NFL history to rush over 2,000 yards in a single season?
O.J. Simpson.
Jay Simpson.
Yeah, there you go.
73.
Who was the first tight end to be inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Mike Ditka.
There you go. Who holds the record for the most career sacks, 200 in the NFL?
Career is.
You want me to give you the multiple choice? I got
Bruce
4
Smith.
of them.
Bruce
Oh, you
Smith?
got it.
Gastineau?
See, I'm not even having to give you guys. They're giving you
Bruce Smith,
multiple
yeah.
choice on here. Which Major League Baseball manager 132nd career game ejection broke the previous record in 2007?
Say it again. You broke up.
Which MLB manager's 132nd career game ejection broke the previous record in 2007?
Lou Piniella.
Sparky?
Let me give you some answers, some multiple choice. Tommy Lasorda,
Sparky?
Tony La Russa, Lou Piniella,
Nope.
or Bobby Cox?
Lou Piniella.
Lou.
Or Lasorda.
You're both wrong. It's Bobby Cox.
Bobby
Yeah,
Cox.
he was manager for 29 years.
I don't remember.
Oh,
him
this
getting
is easy.
ejected a lot.
If one of you guys misses this, I'm ejecting you right out of the studio here. Which Neil Diamond song is played in the 8th inning of every Boston Red Sox game at Fenway Park?
Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
There
I was
you go.
there.
Yeah.
Great song.
Dun, 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 dun. You know, I went to Alabama football game and they were playing it down there too. It was pretty cool. It's played all over the place.
I think I've asked this before, but I don't know if I ever got an answer. What is your walk-up song if Dan Cochimilio and Lou are professional baseball players? What is your walk-up song?
Ooh, my walk-up song.
What would get you,
I know a
Put
song,
me
but
in,
you guys
Coach.
have never heard of it.
what would get you hyped up just to strike out
But
there?
you're already in. You're batting.
On a 72-mile-an-hour fastball.
You know,
I
would,
know that's a tough question. There's so many.
I'm a little humorous. I would have fun with "Put Me In, Coach." I'm ready to play center field because that's my position. So I would love to walk up.
Mr.
I can hear the
Fogarty.
song in my head, but who sings that song?
Which song? Oh, Fogarty, John Fogarty.
John Fogarty. Okay.
John
that's right,
Fogarty
that's right.
of CCR.
Yeah, of CCR. Anything with CCR is good for me. Except I wouldn't want to come up with "Who'll Stop the Rain" or something, something mellow.
Wilmer Flores having the theme song
Friends?
Friends blows me away. You know the story behind why he did. I learned how to speak English watching that show all the time, man.
But he spoke no English. He spoke no English at all. And on off days, he would just watch the reruns.
I thought the best, the reliever song that the Mets closer, all of a sudden his name, Diaz, Edwin Diaz. The trumpet's pretty cool. But I thought the days at Oracle with Rob Nen coming in with Smoke on the Water was pretty tough to beat. That got me pumped up.
by the way, true story about that song, Deep Purple. That was written about. They were recording in the studio when that happened. I think a former Arizona guy who was a shortstop that's now in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Trevor Hoffman, was pretty good. His walkout song too was "Hell's Bells" for AC/DC.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
That's right. My brother met Trevor Hoffman down at Del Mar.
I've met him many times there. Yep.
You met him. You met him there, right?
Yeah. He was a shortstop at U of A. He got drafted as a shortstop. And his last couple of years, we were talking about soft pitchers. He had such a great changeup. He would throw it 5 times, and there was just so much movement. That's sort of like Maddox. That just the movement on the ball.
Oh God, you won't get this trivia question. Wow.
Throw it here.
Throw
it here.
What major league player has the record for most runs batted in a game, and how many?
Oh, in a game. Darn, I thought you were going to say
game.
in a season. A season I had it was Hack Wilson. 1930-ish, somewhere around there. Hack Wilson, I think
it was 11 run in. But
he had 191 RBIs, Hack Wilson. Can you imagine 191 RBIs? That's more than Chapman gets in 2 to 3 seasons.
The lost
so in one game, it's either 11 or 13 in one game. And it was just
George Curry says
I think it was
Mark
because the guy
13?
hit 2 grand slams.
Is it Mark Whitten?
It's Mark Whitten and Jim Bottomley with 12.
12.
Wow.
I hate to say it, I've never heard of either one.
How many did Tatis Sr. got in one inning? That's a record. I guarantee it. 2 grand slams, and didn't he get another hit? No. He had at least 8. I thought it was 9. How many RBIs? Hey Siri. How many RBIs did Fernando Tatis Sr. get in one inning?
Yeah, I think 8's the total.
I found this on the web. For how many RBIs did Fernando Tatis Sr. get in one inning? Check it out.
Oh, this is surprising. Wow. What major league player has scored the most runs in Major League history? Scored the most runs in their career?
Say that one more time.
What major league player has scored the most runs throughout their whole career? I thought for sure I knew this answer, but I was wrong.
Ty Cobb?
No. Lou?
Well, he's got to play a lot. I'm thinking of someone like maybe early Ricky Henderson, 70s, 80s.
It is Ricky Henderson.
I
thought it was Pete Rose.
I was going to say Pete Rose next. Wow.
Ricky
run scored.
Scored 2,295 runs.
Wow. Bill M says my song would be Mammy. Wait a minute. Mammy? Did that go over your head or just mine?
Never heard of Mammy. Who sings it?
Huh.
Is that like that? Must be in the 60s or 70s.
Not sure. Thanks, Bill.
Dan, you need an old school song for your walk-up song. I shot the sheriff,
but I did
not shoot the
deputy. Can you imagine? Old song? I got old songs. Do you know I got a whole box full of 45s right here? See that, Los?
Oh, wow.
You can't play without the yellow disc. Where's the yellow disc?
You have those?
This one's had its day. This one's a little slightly bent. Can you tell?
Yeah, because of the heat.
Jesus, man.
Hey, I'll take this to the game tomorrow. That one ate it. But Dan has 8-track too. I did have an 8-track. I had an 8-track in my 65 Mustang, and I had a ritual, Los and Lou. Every basketball game, get out of school, I'd come home, take my nap, get ready for the game, and then I would have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which was for some protein. Had the same routine. Got in my Mustang, drove to the high school for our home games, and our road games too, because we left with the bus from there. But put on my 8-track, and it was Chicago, and I had one song I wanted to listen to. I wish I could play it right now. The horns. It
Saturday.
was
25-64.
In the park.
Nope, not 25-64. It got me pumped up.
You're the
Not
inspiration.
25-64, huh?
I got to get the tune. I'm going to listen.
That's 89.
Oh, here's a good trivia
That's too
question.
much.
There's been 3 starting pitchers in Major League history to have 20 strikeouts in a game. Name them. 3 starting pitchers have 20 strikeouts in one game.
Clemens.
Kerry Wood.
Clemens was one.
No, Kerry Wood, right?
You're both right.
Kerry only got
Clemens?
18.
No, Kerry Wood had 20.
Oh, Kerry did get 20. I thought he only got 18. I know Clemens did.
Clemens
Gibson,
and one more guy. Nope.
And probably Koufax.
Nope, you'll be surprised. He's still pitching.
I'm listening to the music now.
Focus. Dan, focus.
I got to listen to I'm listening to music because I can't play it on there.
Okay. The third pitcher is still pitching.
Is he a Giant?
No.
This year? Okay.
Oh, he's still pitching? Chris Sale?
Oh, what? No,
Who?
Chris Sale?
No.
that's a good guess. No, he just went on the DL. He's like
Paul
41.
Skeens?
No. Paul's pitched 1 year. He didn't
20.
He didn't pitch enough innings to throw 20 to have 20 strikeouts.
20 strikeouts in a game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Clemens, Wood, and one more guy, and he's still pitching.
Verlander.
It's not Verlander.
No, it's the other guy, the older guy.
The team is a teammate of Verlander's. At
Verlander.
one time.
Robbie Ray.
No, they were
Good
both.
question.
They were both
Good
with
question.
the Mets. They were both with the Mets.
Max
And,
Scherzer?
Max Scherzer.
Scherzer. That's it.
I don't remember Scherzer striking out 20 in a game.
I got to
But
go back to my music here.
that's what it says.
All right, that's a good.
You
way
guys
to end
haven't
it.
guessed my Chicago
That's
song
like-
yet.
All right, so Chicago. So this is when Peter Cetera was still with the band.
Do believe in you. I know that you believe in me. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have never guessed
You
that.
believe in music, and then I don't indeed.
I'll be shocked if you get this one.
I know.
All right.
What?
I know.
We'll get it to a close.
I can't
Who has the most saves in one season in Major League history?
I got it. 60 by the guy from the Angels, Rodriguez.
62, Francisco.
62.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. What was his
Good.
first name?
Francisco.
Francisco. That's right.
Damn, that's a lot.
Maybe.
Man, like how many games did they win? And he almost saved like 2/3, 3/4 of them. He was nasty. I remember he was a rookie when they played the Giants in the World Series.
Yeah.
He was filthy. He was nasty. But I think Bonds took him deep in one game. And he struck him out in one game. So this is a pretty good trivia page.
Huh, that's a better trivia page you found than I did. Mine's just like says it's medium to hard. I mean, these.
Oh God, you guys will never get this one. Wow. What major league pitcher has given up the most home runs throughout their whole career? Wow. You can go so many different ways. I'll narrow it down. He's a lefty. I'll even narrow it down more. He's a soft thrower. He does not throw hard. And he's pitched in the last 30 years. Given up he gave up a lot of homers.
Randy Jones.
I'll give you his initials. Like, this is really hard. JM.
Jamie Moyer.
Yeah.
I was gonna say him before you.
No, you were not. No, you were not. There's no way you would guess Jamie Moyer.
I was gonna just throw out Jamie Moyer when you said 30 years.
Yeah. I shouldn't have
He
given
said
you the
lefty.
initials. I
Oh,
shouldn't
my
have, because
gosh.
that would have
That
been
was a good guess.
that would have been too hard to guess that one.
Yeah. Jamie Moyer, meatballs, huh?
Yeah, that's God, man, he had that long of a career.
Dang. Let me see if I can give you guys it. Lou, you're not giving any trivia, man. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I'll do an NBA one since we talked about the Warriors.
Yeah.
Who did the Celtics trade to Phoenix to get the number 3 pick the following year, which was Len Bias? Do you guys remember that?
I remember them
got the
trading
number
Bias.
3,
Who
even though they
did
won
the
title?
Celtics trade?
Yeah,
Dennis Johnson.
Nope, to Phoenix.
It was in 85 for the 86 draft.
It wasn't Dennis Johnson?
No, Dennis was still on. You got to
How many-
remember the Celtics traded their player, which winded up for their draft pick, which winded up being the number 3 pick.
Mark Graves says Hornacek. Is it Hornacek?
Nope.
Oh, Hornacek.
I don't know if Hornacek, I always remember as Utah.
Oh,
No,
was it
wasn't
Danny Ainge? Danny
Nope.
Ainge. Because he played with
No.
Phoenix.
He was a big
saw
guy.
I just saw a clip on Danny Ainge today, guys. On
You guys
Twitter.
wanted his initials?
Yeah.
RR. So you guys might have been big Celtic fans back then, or NBA fans.
Rajon Rondo?
Dude, that was like he played in like 2008. This is back in
I know,
the
but
80s.
RR. I don't know too many RRs. Rick Roby?
Very good. Rick Roby, Mark Graves,
Mark Graves got it. I saw him
Yep.
come up with Roby. He beat it.
Robert Rothberg. Yeah, the Celtics traded him back then. That's a good one.
Rothberg. Yeah, there we go.
Mark Graves, did you look that up or did you guess that off the top of your head?
Did you look that up, Mark? Yes or
If you guessed that
no?
off, if you guessed that off the top of your head, that's impressive.
Let us know. Did you get
I
it?
mean, I was
I
a
bet-
huge
I bet-
Celtic
I
fan,
bet
so
Mark-
I knew a little about
I
Robert.
bet Mark got it off the top of his head because he got the initials.
Yeah.
Oh man! Hey, the
Nice,
song I used to
man.
listen to got it off their initials. He said,
feeling stronger every day.
"Feeling
enough.
stronger every day." Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you want to know what's
It- it-
amazing about that? Is Peter Cetera got in an accident after that was recorded, and
Really?
his voice changed, which took Chicago to another level. There was a special.
I love
on
Peter
Chicago.
Peter Cetera. Where's that special? Is it on Netflix? Where can I
God,
see it? I
saw
love
it on,
Chicago.
like-
I love Peter Cetera as the lead singer.
Yeah, I mean, they're still the only group. Here, I got another album. I mean, music thing. So, Chicago was the only one to have 3 #1 hits on an album, lose a singer, and then their next album had 3 #1 hits too. They were the only ones ever to do that. The closest that would have been. Here, I got a question. Here's a question for everyone. Since a lot of us were born in the 80s, can you guys name? There were 3 groups that sold the most records in the 80s. Okay, 3.
Eagles.
One, wait a minute. One had 3 albums. The other one only had 2, and then the other one only had 2. No, this is in the 80s.
Journey,
Eagles only had 1.
Journey, Foreigner.
Foreigner, no.
Not Journey.
And I'll give you a hint. 2 were bands from America, and then the other one was from Canada.
Phillips
Actually,
is
no, I'm
Boston.
sorry. One's from America. One is from America. One is from is a European, and the other one is from
Canada.
ACDC.
Canada. No,
Metallica. We got to guess a Metallica, Rush,
No.
Boston, Journey, Guns N'
You guys
Roses,
gotta
Van
think.
Halen.
think of the 80s because the one album came out early 80s, and think of MTV, and then the other one came out very late in the 80s.
I mean, you said group, so I'm not counting.
Fleetwood Mac, or were they 70s?
You said
They were
group, so
70s.
I'm not counting
Yeah.
Prince or Michael Jackson, who ruled the 80s.
They only had one album.
Nobody sold more than Mike.
Oh.
But group-wise, that's a good question.
Rolling
Man,
Stones, or they didn't, or were they done? They were set more.
Okay,
seven.
one you guys got to think of. Between their two albums, one was 1980.
Kiss is a good guess.
82, and then the other one would have been like 89 because they went through major problems.
America?
Not America. Not Bryan Adams. That's a good guess, Mark.
But that's an individual. You said group, right?
Yeah, I said groups. Should I give you one and then you go, oh my God, I forgot about him?
No.
Led Zeppelin?
Nope.
Come
Like,
on.
Who's one of the biggest albums? Who's one of the biggest albums right now when you guys think about it? Biggest rock groups. Who could play beside Metallica? Could play like Oracle. You got to remember, 80s was purely MTV. You know, that's where you made all the things. So you got to remember. And
Huey Lewis in the News?
Nope. And,
man, that's a great guess. That's a great guess. Come on.
And two of them have a song that is always played on the radio. One is The Day of the Week, that is always played on Friday. And then the other one has become sort of like every wedding when they need a song, they play their song and everyone knows it. And that album had 7 number 1 hits. 7.
It's not Chicago.
Dang. This is the top groups?
Yep.
By albums or just
album sales.
Dang it. I don't know, Lou. I don't remember I'm more of 70s.
Should I do the hardest one that you guys will never know?
The one from Canada? The one from Canada.
The one from Canada.
Oh, I got one. Got one, maybe. I got one. The one from Europe.
No, from Canada. And
no, I got one from
America.
Europe. Could it be you?
No.
You
one's from America.
You two?
One is from Europe, and one is from Canada.
Are you guys not hearing me? Because you guys don't respond when I speak.
No, I heard you said U2, but U2 had their album Unforgettable Fire was in the 90s.
Fleetwood Mac?
I said them already. AC/DC was not one?
Oh, Hall & Oates?
Nope.
Damn.
Again, one's from the U.S., one's European, and then one's from Canada. This is just the 80s. It's just something I know because there was a contest and I lost.
No, the Bee Gees were 70s.
Not the Bee Gees, 70s. Yeah. Mark Graves got one.
Who did you get?
Scorpions?
In fact, they won 9. What is it? The equivalent to the Grammys in 1 year. It's not Triumph. That was a good one. Mark, you got it. Loverboy was the one in the 80s. Everyone working for the weekend, you know, on Fridays, they always play that song. The other one of them, should I give you the album title?
Anything will help right now.
And think about who had a band that had huge, and then they went through major problems with the band where somebody lost, got in a car wreck on December 31st.
Jeez. Man, I'm drawing a blank.
I'm yeah, this is all.
Can we get back into sports?
The one that I should have said that was from Europe was originally they were from Europe. They weren't from here. It was Def Leppard. You guys forget Hysteria sold 20 when Pour Some Sugar on Me came out. It went gold in one day. And then of course their first album, I don't know if you guys remember Friday Night Videos. At one time they had Dan, that was you were probably too old by then for Friday Night Videos. You know, he had Friday Night Videos after Miami Vice. You probably didn't even know what Miami Vice is. Too old.
Oh, what a great soundtrack.
I remember Miami Vice. I didn't watch much of it.
But yeah, Def Leppard was huge. You know, and then
I
of
think
course
somebody had already said
drummer
that.
lost a run. Oh, I didn't see Def Leppard. Sorry.
Somebody said that way back right here.
On Through the Night was 79.
At 11:12 p.m., which was
that was 2 minutes ago then.
I can't believe Def Leppard sold more than Journey and Foreigner.
Yeah,
That's
me
surprising.
too.
That's surprising.
I would have
God,
thought Journey's
Foreigner and
greatest hits
Journey
album.
has a lot. Foreigner and Journey has a lot of songs, top 10. But
I was going to go
Foreigner
to
4 was big. Def Leppard.
I was going to head over to
what was it?
I was going to head over to Southern California and see Journey.
Yeah, they played 2 nights
playing-
ago.
Yeah,
At
just a couple
Yamava.
nights ago. But yeah, I talked to you about getting me tickets, Lou, but I forgot to follow up because
Right.
when I looked online, the cheapest tickets were like $500-$600. I'm like,
In fact, they're getting Def Leppard there the day before we go to Del Mar. So I'm trying to call my guy to say, hey, can I stay at the hotel, watch Def Leppard, and then I'll drive and watch the Giants day game on that Thursday.
when
there
is
you go.
when is that road trip to San Diego?
August 20th.
Yeah, 19th or the 20th, whatever that Thursday is. Thursday.
I don't know. My
Friday, Saturday.
birthday's the 19th, so I think it's the 20th.
From-
is it
from-
the 20th?
From Phoenix to
21st.
Phoenix to
I got
LA, it's like 4.5.
Get
Good
your
drive.
flight, Los. Get your flight in the morning. Thursday morning, we'll be back Saturday night. It's a quick trip. One day at the ballpark against the afternoon game against the Padres. And then and Aaron wants to come. Aaron wants to come too. 2 days at the track.
Cliff is in San Diego, so Cliff should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on through, Aaron. Yeah, probably can make that.
Better
Yeah,
get
that-
your ticket. Better get your ticket quick.
Surrounded by too many Leos. Leo's birthday's around that time. Boo.
Yeah.
Leos.
You know it, man. We're Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
You know,
right.
you know
All
what
right.
kind of a
Hey,
lion
guys.
I am. I tore you
Hey,
up
I
in
don't know.
fantasy football. Now I'm going to take you out in baseball because you got me in your league.
Hey, I don't know if anybody in the chat is going to be in Vegas. I forgot to announce this the other night. If anyone's in Vegas for March Madness, but if anybody's in Vegas for March Madness, I'm actually flying out tomorrow. You're more than welcome to bring a buddy for food and booze. We have a booth all catered at Westgate Casino. So if anyone is in Vegas for March Madness, you go with some buddies. Just wanted to let you know.
Lou, give me a who you think's going to win the tournament, and give me a sleeper for the tournament.
Well, I'm a little biased because I have Florida at 47-1, 24-1, and 15-1
Ooh.
to win it all. So I think Florida is going to be there. Who did I have? And then I made 4 bets already here, but winning the whole. I mean, I love Florida. They're the most complete team I've seen in a while.
Are they the favorites?
Third choice. I mean, they're down to like 3-1. But here, let me take a look at the. I mean, I love BYU this week. I love Gonzaga. But here, let's get to the first rounds. Everyone loves the dogs, but
Always
I
love
usually
the 12.
I bet, yeah, the 12-5 this year. I don't think it's going to be as drastic as it is, but let's see. All right, so the bracket. So I love Florida. I'll tell you sort of a dark horse, a 4 seed. I think Maryland's going to be is pretty good. I don't like Illinois. I don't like
So
Tennessee.
Florida's a favorite, and then one you're muted, Dan. and then a sleeper.
Yeah, Auburn's the favorite to win it.
Auburn is the main favorite. Okay.
Yeah, but here, let me.
And then like a sleeper would be probably defined by anybody that's past a 5 seed, 6 seed, or
yeah,
greater.
I don't like Duke. I don't like Duke this year. I mean, they're being very quiet about our boy being injured. I think they have a pretty tough second game. The one thing about Duke this year is the ACC sucked. I mean, just overall, it was the worst of the Big Five. So, they haven't played anybody. Let's see if we can get you.
Hey, while you're thinking of that, do you guys know the answer to this question?
I didn't know.
Wasn't it Brad Doherty?
I think it was. Yeah.
What was the question?
Who was picked before Len Bias in 86?
Oh, so he went third, Len Bias.
No, Bias went second. You know who went third? Came to Golden State.
Chris Washburn.
Yeah, Chris Washburn. What a great name.
I asked Frank about him. Frank said he was really good. He was. To be drafted third,
North Carolina State. I believe he was at.
Hey, do you know who was when was MJ drafted? What pick? Do you guys remember?
Third.
Yeah. Third.
Behind Olajuwon
Sam Bowie.
And Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie and who?
Portland messed up twice.
Olajuwon.
They passed on Jordan and Kevin Durant. Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Portland.
Who was the guy they took?
I don't know if you know, Dan, but Kevin Durant was drafted by a team in Seattle, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, the Seattle Kraken. I know.
Yeah.
The Supersonics.
Who was the Ohio State center that was drafted before Durant? Injury prone.
Oh gosh, what was his name?
Lou, you remember?
I mean, the guy that went to Portland?
Yep.
With the bad legs from Ohio State?
Yep.
Yeah. What was his name?
Brogan.
God,
I'm seeing him right now because he was too tall. He was like 7'2".
Yeah.
Grogan.
No, right, Bill. Chris Washburn went third. Yep. Oh gosh.
And he had red flags coming out. Like, I guess Portland just thought Kevin Durant was too skinny.
And he was a freshman. The other guy, I believe, was a senior.
God, his name escapes me, but I know he was Ohio State center.
Yeah.
That's twice Ohio State went for big guys instead of the more skilled basketball player.
And they did the same thing when they got Bill Walton. He, he won his time. He only played in 5 years. I think he only played equivalent to a year and a half. He was always injured. He broke his leg. He broke his leg twice.
Now I got it. It was Greg Oden. Greg
Oden.
Horrible.
I just looked it up. Oh, there, Hiroku's got it too. Oden. The draft that year was Oden, Durant, Al Horford, Mike Conley, Jeff Green. Oh gosh, get that. Yi Jinlian from China. Did he ever make it? Gosh, almost all these guys are gone out of the league.
Is he related to Jung Hoo?
No.
I like Houston and Clemson, sort of a long shot.
Clemson?
I think it's going to be sort of chalky, yeah. Sorry to say.
I think it's going to be a chalky tournament. It never goes chalk, these tournaments.
No. I mean, I think, I think it'll be 1, 2, and maybe 5s.
Which 12 seed wins? There's always 5-12.
Well, for some reason, everyone's falling in love with McNeese, so I've already bet Clemson. I think they're nuts. McNeese is like they're not that good. Here, I'll go to the other 5-12s. I only like 1-12 this year.
What's the line on the What's the line on the Clemson McNeese State game?
I think 5.5.
You like Clemson?
Everybody loves UC San Diego. I'm not a big. I mean, that's the only 12 I like over Michigan.
Hey, you guys. Sometimes I have only one screen when I go to look up something. I don't see the chat. You could still see me, but I can't see the chat. So I can't see the screen. Just like when I go to Twitter or when I do anything, I'm not seeing the chat. So I
Yeah,
could
the
stare at
Michigan
chat all
5-12
day.
is 2.5 to spread. I like Yale too. They'll beat Texas A&M. They should have won last year, but you're getting 7.5. That's
You're going to.
I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah, you're going to be at Chase for some of those games, right, Lou?
Yeah, that's the West Regional.
Nice.
I got to figure out what to do. Maybe go to the bar or that bar that they have there. Have you been to the bar yet, Los? I don't know if you know, but they actually have now the biggest bar in San Francisco on the grounds of Chase.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Hey, Lou, how many's the box hold at Del Mar? 7?
8, I believe. I'll double check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 8.
So we've already got 4 of us. Aaron says he wants in. Los wants in, and then if Cliff comes, then we're full pretty much. We'd be at 7.
And I don't know. We haven't really spoke about where we're going to stay. Because I'm going to stay at one hotel. They have the Omni that's connected to the stadium. So I
love that hotel right there. Yeah.
I mean, it's not, and they until the season starts, they don't have all those promotion things. So,
are you going to stay there for?
I'll just stay there for the Thursday night.
What about Friday, Saturday? Are you going to go closer to Del Mar?
Well, because you're downtown. I'd rather stay closer to the airport or by the track. I'll probably stay off a place called Hotel Circle. It's very affordable. It's halfway in between.
There are 2 PA public address announcers for
Bill is feisty tonight. Listen to this. Look at Bill. He says, "Well, get another screen." First, he said, "Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Look at the chat," because the answers are getting put up on the chat. And he said, First he said, "Look at the chat, dummies." Then he says, "Just kidding. I'm in that kind of mood today."
Obviously.
All right. Good job, Bill.
First of all, Bill M. Houston is not going to be a good sleeper. They're number 1, and they're coming out of the second best conference. So that's not a sleeper when you're number 1 seed.
Lou, you would know this answer. When I was going to the racetrack quite a bit, there was a public address announcer that I loved. He had an Irish Scottish accent, and he would go, "And away they go."
And Trevor Dedman. You talking about Trevor Dedman?
Trevor Dedman. Yeah, he just retired.
Down
at Del Mar, he was the best. He would do it. The raw the crowd.
Racing.
And then he had the greatest cash prizes. Yeah.
I mean, you got to be a hell of an announcer to be able to announce a horse racing, because it's fast and the lead changes and the names on some of these horses is not easy. Yeah, that dude.
My brother's
and away
his friend. He's from. They go to Saratoga.
Where's he from?
Saratoga. No, he's from
Scotland.
He's from
Trevor Dedman
South
Racing.
Africa. South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah. And then what's great is when he had a horse that opened up, his big line would be, "And if you bet him, run to the window, be first in line to collect." He was the best. He was Trevor Dedman. He would do. I have some of the greatest calls ever. Like he did the one. I don't know if you remember a horse a couple of years ago named Zenyatta. And Zenyatta won at Santa Anita, beat the boys. And the call was, amazing because Zenyatta broke bad. Zenyatta is actually written about a song by the Police because the owner of them owned a little company called A&M Records.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys remember Herb Albert was the A, and then he was the M. And if you guys, I was there. It was probably the second greatest sporting event I've ever been to. And Zenyatta was dead last and circled the field, and his announce is it's memorable, at least for me. And he retired this year.
Hey, who's the announcer, Lou, at Saratoga? My brother's been up there.
So now they've gone through some changes there. They used to have they had a very famous announcer. He retired 10 years ago, but he also did the Breeders' Cups.
Testing.
I always liked the guy down in Chicago, where he'd always remind people, you better hurry if you want to make a bet, because everyone bets at the very last minute, and you better hurry. And then, but yeah, there was another guy, Phil Georgetta, swinging into the turn, and those guys, the way they do it. If you ever seen an announcer, because when I went to U of A for racetrack management, you had to do it. They get their program, and what they do is they color with a crayon the silks of the horse, not the number of the horse, because sometimes you can't see what number it is. You're just looking at the silks. And the object is, and Trevor was the best, you got to go first through seventh, and then whoever's spinning the turn and who's making the move, because he would tell you better watch if he can get through. Here it comes, and what's amazing, even the guy, like right now, they got a new guy at Trip Paradise. I can't understand him because he's sort of like, he's not as good as these others. They're just, it was Russell Bays. He's still alive, yeah. Anthony. Russell Bays. He ran Northern California.
Hey, the guy at Saratoga, Frank Miramati.
Yeah, Frank Miramati now, he does also at Santa Anita.
Yeah,
but he's okay, but he's not the best. He's good. Yeah,
my brother, he's come up to the booth. My brother's let him go. He let my brother in while he's doing the races.
Pretty amazing. Was at Pleasanton?
No, at Saratoga.
Oh, in Saratoga. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's sort of funny about him, I saw him for the first time. He's a big player. Whew. I saw him at the horses, and he had 3 stacks of high society. I don't know if anyone knows what that means. If anybody saw the great movie.
Lou, by any chance, do you know who Troy Honorado is?
I'm sorry, who?
Troy Honorado, owner of Hat Trick Racing out of Golden Gate Fields. Name doesn't ring a bell.
No. Now I know a lot of people because Golden Gate now is shut down. It sucks, but I know a lot of the trainers.
I know
the owners.
Man, so many memories at Bay Meadows
and the worst is there's no more fair racing. So like when they had Pleasanton Fair this year, there's no horse racing, no racing at Pleasanton, no Santa Rosa.
So horse racing is dead in the Bay Area right now.
Yeah, I think we should open up a track. NorCal Sports Network.
Hey,
is the name of the track.
Hey, there you go.
We need to.
The biggest problem, and there'll be no horse racing, is they're not tearing down the tracks. It's all because of if they ever allow sports betting, and this is where Newsom really fucked up, and all these people voted against having sports betting. People don't realize New Jersey makes $38 million a year on betting. It's closer to $75 million when the NFL season's going, because it's the same system as the horse racing, so people can bet. 3-5-08, all that. It's just there's so much money, and I remember Bay Meadows Friday night, $1 beer, $1 hot dogs, and they used to have a band. There'd be 7 races, and everyone would go before to TGIFs. Thank God it's Friday, and you'd have a bloody beer there, and then they had the $1 beers, 10 ounces, and the place was packed.
I met Tom Rathman at least 3 to 4 times at Bay Meadows. Always had his dad rolling him around in a wheelchair.
Rathman.
Rathman.
And he was always at the Bay, and
Tommy Rathman.
I knew Mr. Jackson himself. He bought a very famous horse. Unfortunately, he died. I don't know if you know the main guy, but Mr. Jackson bought a filly. One day after the Kentucky Oaks, there was a horse called Rachel Alexander. Rachel Alexander won the Kentucky Oaks by 26 lengths, and then he bought him. Beat the boys in the Preakness, didn't run in the Belmont, but beat the big race at Saratoga. And Rachel Alexander was very good. I don't think as good as Zenyatta, but Rachel was great for horse racing, just like Zenyatta.
What are they going to do?
That was his big thing. He paid $10 million for a horse.
What are they going to do with Golden Gate Fields then?
I don't know. They had
Tear it down and build
everything's been
condos.
sold.
That was doing.
You can't because there's an artifact in the infield. So it's I think they're going to build around it, but you can't do anything with the infield because of there's some kind of artifact or something there.
Damn, man. God, the day.
Yeah, how can one of the largest markets in the country not have horse racing? Man.
Dan, I don't know if you knew, but until 1974, there was dog racing in San Francisco.
I love the dogs.
Oh, they had dogs down here in Phoenix. I think they closed it. The one in
Phoenix it's now a yard sale thing, and then they all went to Tucson, and then 3 years ago it closed in Tucson too. PETA got
the Greyhounds. I'll tell you what's interesting. I in the Philippines they have arenas for cockfighting, and they get the blades on them. And I was booking a flight a few weeks ago, and the guy that I was talking to, he had won a tournament over in the Philippines and won over $100,000 US dollars on just, and he said these, it's pretty interesting to watch. So they put the blades. Have you ever seen them?
I saw it, and they sell tamales. I don't know if you remember the great Seinfeld. Remember? How can I get a tamale?
Yeah, the blades on
the thing. Yeah,
and
that's how they kill them.
And as I was talking to the guy, he said, "I said, well, you get a winner, but it's kind of like loser chicken dinner because he's dead, right? I mean, you got a dead chicken." But I was talking to him, and he was saying, if you want to go, you can. I know a couple guys get you in free at the one in Manila, but he said one guy, see if I can pull up his name. He won the tournament. He's from Oklahoma, won over $400,000. And
betting him?
Yes. And he says the key, I said, how do you bet on these things? How do you know who's going to,
or do they know it in advance? There's always a ringer like little Jerry.
I asked that. He said, no, they don't. He says, but the key is you got to train these ones that have a killer instinct. They just want to kill. And I thought, wow, that's pretty crazy. I've got some video of some of, I don't know if I could show it. I got video from
I've seen it. It's brutal.
I don't know if I could show it on YouTube. Maybe I'll get in trouble.
And Anthony, they have dog racing in Florida. They had it in New Orleans when we were there for the Super Bowl. And they're trying to get it back because Texas is now going to be losing horse racing, so they're trying to come up with something too. I mean, you got to do something with the Greyhounds. I mean, there's a lot of them. The best thing they did for dog racing is once the Greyhounds are done, they're now becoming pets.
I'll tell you a real quick heartwarming story about the horses. Me and my older brother, who passed away in 2022 at the young age of 61, that was our thing. It was going to the casinos and going to the racetrack.
What did you say? Did you say your brother passed away?
My brother, my older brother Steve was 61. Oh, wow. He passed away in 2022.
Oh,
and and he could pick the horses. He was good. He just would like look at him. He's taking those notes, and he was really good at picking horses. That was our thing together. And like 5 months after he passed away, I was in his hometown in El Paso, Texas, at a racetrack, and on the card was a horse called Older Brother. And I'm like, it was 5-1, and I went down from my little, sweeten box. I wanted to go down right level where it was. Bet that horse 5-1. That horse won. Cried my eyeballs off as soon as he crossed that finish line. Boy, I tell you, Lou, that there was such a strong feeling of presence there that day for that. I mean, what are the chances? Like I have it right here in my office, I still have the program. I tore out the page, and I
there you
circled
go.
the number 5 horse, older brother. That stays
Wow.
with me. Love,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Wow.
That brought. I mean, we were always close, but that was one thing we always loved to do together was go to the racetrack. So that's why I bring up Bay Meadows and Golden Gate.
no, Bay Meadows was great. They had
Just
the train that would go
great
there.
times. Yeah,
Great
Friday
vibe.
night, Saturday.
The other thing is they used to have concerts in the infield. I saw Ben Orr of the Cars. They had a concert, because there wasn't really much competition. You go.
You
to
say
a
the
concert,
Cars?
You go to the racetrack of the Cars. Ben Orr of the Cars.
I don't mind you coming here.
Yeah.
Wasting all my time.
All my fine time.
Yeah.
So,
I got a friend,
yeah.
his last name's Cars, and he spells it with a K. Yeah. And
Yeah,
every time he calls me,
that's
the
Gary
song comes in
Newman.
my head.
That's Gary Newman. Cars.
That's Gary Newman. Yeah, good call.
Yeah,
Good call.
Gary Newman.
Great
And
call.
Philip, because Bay Meadows originally was at the Tamparan Mall. The racetrack was there when Seabiscuit ran. It wasn't at Bay Meadows. Bay Meadows was called Tamparan at the time, and then they moved down the street.
Hey, next time you guys see me, I'll probably be clean shaven. Wife's coming home tomorrow. She said, get rid of it.
off. Yep.
Says I look old. I'm already old. I look older. Yeah, that's kind of what happens when it comes in gray, man.
Yep. Mark Graves, Drive. That was
he
Ben
called
Orr
it.
was the lead singer of that.
Yeah, he called it. So, all right, guys, let's get out of here. It's time. We shall see you
and
guys.
I will not be here tomorrow, so I'll be gone for the week. Like I said, if
Right.
anybody's in Vegas, you're more than welcome to come by to Westgate. Good luck on your brackets. Have fun. Don't lose a lot.
We're doing some Giants baseball talking tomorrow night. And we're just over about 9 more days for the season opener in Cincinnati. Should be fun. But guys, thanks for joining. We appreciate it. Make sure you do give this a like. It helps the algorithm of the show. Click on the like. Even if you hated it, it would be great. Just click on the like for us. And we shall see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Oh, and for all you WNBA fans out there, this is for you.
Hey, this is Luis Matos. Hey, this is Luis Matos.